Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 31. Translation: when one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position or recognize his present one. When remembrance is lost, all knowledge that is acquired is based on a false foundation. When this occurs, learned scholars consider that the soul is lost. Purport: the living entity or the soul is ever existing and eternal. It cannot be lost. But learned scholars say that it is lost when actual knowledge is not working. There is the difference between animals and human beings. According to less intelligent philosophers, animals have no soul, but factually animals have souls. Due to the animals' gross ignorance, however, it appears that they have lost their souls. Without a soul, a body cannot move. That is the difference between a living body and a dead body. When the soul is out of the body is called dead. The soul is said to be lost when there is no proper knowledge exhibited. Our original consciousness is Krishna consciousness because we are part and parcel of Krishna. When this consciousness is misguided and one is put into the material atmosphere, which pollutes the original consciousness, one thinks that he is a product of the material elements. Thus one loses his real remembrance of his position as part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just as a man who sleeps forgets himself. In this way, when the activities of a proper consciousness are checked, all the activities of the lost soul are performed on a false basis. At the present moment, human civilization is acting on a false platform of bodily identification. Therefore, it can be said that the people of the present age have lost their souls. Brashyatyanusmritishchitam jnana brahmsha smriti kshaye tadrodham kavaya prahur atma pahnavam atmanaha. When one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position or recognize his present one. When remembrance is lost, all knowledge that is acquired is based on a false foundation. When this occurs, learned scholars consider that the soul is lost. So that the soul is lost, it means that the soul is covered by ignorance. Originally, every soul is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss, Satchitananda. But when the soul desires to live and enjoy separated from the Lord, it comes to the material world, and the soul becomes lost in the material energy, which covers the consciousness. Srila Prabhupada says the soul cannot be lost, but still it is lost. So the soul is said to be lost when there is no proper knowledge exhibited. That means when it's covered by ignorance. So it is said Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sarva Kabunoi Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Korayodoi, that Krishna consciousness is not something that will be gained from some external source. Krishna consciousness is something that is already there in our. It's the natural quality of the soul. So it's not something to be gained from somewhere else. It's something that is already there, but it needs to be awakened. It needs to be awakened. And Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte, that original chitta or consciousness, pure consciousness, Shuddha Chitte, is awakened. Koraya Udoi means awakened. It's awakened by Shravanadi, or by hearing. Shravanadi, hearing and chanting. So this Krishna Prema is eternally situated in everyone. It's there. So therefore, if we know this, then it's not difficult for us to understand how is it that people from all kinds of cultures and from all kinds of countries become devotees, and they are happy to be devotees. They don't object. And for them it becomes natural. They may be from this culture or that culture, but for people it becomes natural that they actually that they chant, that they engage in devotional service, that they chant Hare Krishna. We have people from all kinds of cultures, all kinds of countries become devotees, and because Krishna consciousness is in everyone. It's original consciousness of the soul. It's God consciousness. But the problem is that the soul forgets. Why the soul forgets his original position? Because the soul wants to forget, wants to enjoy separated from the Lord, wants to imitate God, wants to be like God. So we all are like imitation gods. Okay, you may say, well, I don't want to be God, I just want to be happy. But if you want to be happy, separated from God, then that means you want to be independent enjoyer. Or you want to be primary enjoyer. And this tendency is very strong. Even if you practice spiritual life, still this tendency to enjoy and control is there. And then, because of this, there are problems. So it takes time to get free from this tendency. It is described as the demoniac mentality, Ishvaraham aham bhogi. I am the controller and I am the enjoyer. Ishvaraham aham bhogi. Bhagavad Gita describes this as a demoniac mentality. And when the soul cannot enjoy, then becomes angry. If you cannot fulfill your material desires, you become very angry. And then you blame everybody. Why I'm not happy? Why the world is not dedicated to making me happy? I'm frustrated. If only all of you would change, I would be happy. If only all of you would do what I want, I would be happy. If only all of you would understand my glories, I would be happy. If only all of you would serve me, I would be happy. And I don't care if you would be happy, but what is important is that I'm happy. So imagine you are a master surrounded by frustrated servants. Would you be happy? Or servants who all also want to be like you, who want to take your position. So would you be happy? Or they are looking for an opportunity to kill you or to replace you in your position. So nowadays, demoniac people, they want to control everybody by chips. Not potato chips, but computer or, I don't know, electronic chips. And then imagine you have, like few people who want to control the world, they have everybody else under their control by chips, and everybody is like a robot, and everybody is, scared, confused, frustrated. We are all like this, and they're enjoying happy. Can they enjoy? Enjoy happily in the world? Like they have their big mansion and big cars and money, and everybody is serving them very obediently, because they have given us vaccine. And we happily serve them like zombies. Have so many zombies serving a couple of other zombies. and they think they will be happy with this. Maybe only their family is normal a little bit. Maybe they're also not normal. Maybe their family also doesn't like them. So it would be nice to interview these people and ask them, so how do you think, how do you imagine? How do you imagine you will be happy? If all of us are under your control, like completely confused zombies, and you think you will be happy? Also, I don't know, Prabhu people send me links every day. So I wrote to one devotee, there will be riots. And it's already starting, like you heard that they burned these 5G towers, there will be riots. So, if you try to control people, you think they will just sit? Everybody will just say, yes, sir, you please, give me. So, they think they will get away with it or something. So, anyway, this desire to control is very strong. And they're very scientifically explain how this, these things happen in the body, and how the virus is flowing everywhere, or the radiation or whatever it is flowing. They're very expert in analyzing the material energy. Material energy is like this, material energy is like that. And this goes into the body, and we will actually master it. We will take control of it. We just need some time, and in that time, 10,000 people have to die. But we will work it out, so that the rest of us can live peacefully and enjoy, especially a couple of us. And then they didn't find actually the cure for death. So how will they control that? Death. How death. How they will control that? Maybe they can manipulate that too with some chips. So it's a funny plan to control the world. But Ishvaroham Aham Bhogi, this is described in the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita as a demoniac mentality. And they are dedicated to doing activities that will destroy the world. They are dedicated to doing horrible activities that will destroy the world. So this tendency is there. And actually, when the conditioned soul comes to the material world, it is said that first it becomes Brahma, Lord Brahma. Every one of us. It's said like this in the Bhagavatam. So you were Brahma in the past, but you don't remember it. Maybe you think it would be good to have 4 heads and and to control the universe. That sounds cool. To create. But later, it has to go to 8,400,000 species of life, and at some phases it becomes like a monster. Like a monster. Why people like to watch monsters? Because there is monster in them. In everybody there is a monster. In everybody there is a demon. But this knowledge reveals this truth about us, to us. And therefore, the real devotee never asks, why me? Because he knows, I am not an angel. I am not innocent. I also want to control. I also want to enjoy. And I need to get free from that mentality. And then the next verse says, we speak about self-interest, taking care of oneself. What is the real self-interest? And then it says there is no greater obstruction to self-interest than thinking that other subject matters are more interesting than one's self-realization. So these people are finding so many subjects for discussion. Now the discussion is virus. Everybody speak about this. They always find something else which is not self-realization or which is not God realization. And then they make a big propaganda, and so much information is spread about it. Yesterday one devotee told me that he spends 1 hour reading about the virus. So how many hours a day you spend on reading about virus?
No.
No. Yesterday I spoke with my brother. He's Christian, Orthodox Christian, and I told him about this. Told him, don't go to the hospital and don't let our mother go to the hospital, because she will get infected there. And I explained to him different things about this manipulation, and he says, yes, I heard Antichrist is coming in form of these people who want to control everyone. So he heard about it in his own circle of people who speak about Antichrist. And Christians, as you know, on YouTube, they really protest against different people who are famous, who are influential. They're against Oprah Winfrey. They think these are all representatives of the demons or reptiles. So there is conspiracy theories also. We will not speak about this. So now the question is, what will good people do about bad things? That's an important question. And I sent this yesterday, this quote, that Prabhupada said that devotees, if needed, devotees can fight. So if we get clear sign from Krishna that it's time for action, then we will do something about it. And Bhaktitirtha Maharaj spoke about the spiritual warrior. So spiritual warrior is mainly a warrior on the battlefield of consciousness. A warrior on the battlefield of consciousness, he doesn't want to allow his consciousness to sink deep down and become ignorant and become again a person who wants to control and enjoy the material world. So when a devotee sees a flower, when a non-devotee sees a flower, he thinks, let me smell it. I'm enjoying the smell of the flower. But when a devotee sees a flower, he thinks, such a beautiful flower, created by Krishna, let me offer it to him for his pleasure, expressing my love. So the same thing is there, but the consciousness is different. There is this enjoying consciousness, and there is the serving consciousness. There is serving consciousness. So from time immemorial, there is a distinction between demoniac and divine mentality. And in all religions, it is there. In all religions. And in difficult times, good people become more good, and bad people become more bad. Like, for example, devotees distribute more food during the crisis. They chant more during the crisis. They speak more about Krishna during the crisis. But sometimes good people have to take a sword and fight. Arjuna wanted to be a good guy. Krishna said, no, you are a Kshatriya. It's better to die fighting. So, your duty, your dharma, your varna is to fight and to protect the religious principles, to protect people. So in the mundane conception of a hero, the hero is the most powerful one. But in a spiritual conception of the hero is zero if there is no Krishna. Hero is zero. So Arjuna, when Krishna left, Arjuna was helpless. He couldn't protect women, he couldn't protect children. So this is the understanding that is different from the fairy tales of the mundane world, where a hero is a hero without God. And in the spiritual understanding of a hero is only a hero with God. In the military, they train people and they want to break their ego. Like in the marine training, or in different countries there is this heavy training. So for every mistake you have to do many push-ups. So you become very careful that you don't want to make a mistake, because you will be punished. And then they insult them sometimes, the trainers insult them. And I told you, the motto is, the only easy day was yesterday. And yesterday was hellish. Yesterday we almost died, but today it will be worse. So they train them to be very strong, and they say they want to actually break their ego. So those who have passed the training, do they have smaller ego? They have a bigger ego. They're so proud. I have passed this hellish training, I'm still alive, I'm so strong. So now I'm almost invincible. So they try to break their ego, but they actually make their ego stronger. They make their ego stronger. And they're very proud that, I have passed this training, I'm a great soldier, I'm a great warrior. And for what are you fighting? I'm fighting for America or for Russia. And what is America and Russia? You're fighting for what? I am fighting for American government or for Russian government. And what is the government? Who are these people? Well, not sure. These are people whom I hate. So how are you a great hero? You are fighting for your country. And your country is led by fools. So that means you're a fool. You're not a hero. You just have developed some muscles, some resilience, some determination, and you are a strong fool. So you want to be a hero, fight for your country and be proud. I'm fighting for my country. I'm fighting. Okay, ideally speaking, I am fighting for the world. And this world stinks. You are fighting for the stink. For the world. What is the world? Bunch of conditioned souls who are sinful. You are fighting for them? You're proud of this? You are a great hero. And Prabhupada speaks about hero in the story of Dhruva Maharaj, I think. And he says that soul can be a hero in two ways. As a material hero, he is expert in satisfying his senses. And as a spiritual hero, he is a controller of the senses, Goswami. That's the hero, one who can control his senses and his mind. That's the hero. So, when the soul understands its eternal nature and its nature as a divine particle of God, then the soul connects with its power, its real power. And the soul, Bhagavad Gita says, 229, Ashcharyavat, the soul is amazing. So you are amazing, you are a hero, but not in a way that we are learning in the materialistic culture what is a hero. So why do you want to be a hero? Because it feels good. You feel like you're something. Nobody says, I want to be a coward. You know, always running away from the challenges that life puts in front of me. So when you come to the bathroom and you have two switches, one is red, one is white. So how do you feel when you put the red one? And how do you feel when you put the white one, the blue one? And you tell me, Akrura, I do a mix. I mix them. And then, what is the stronger one? Is it the red one stronger or the blue one? So, you know, how can you feel good if you make compromise with your own values and with your own senses? So the soul cannot feel good if the soul is always making compromise with its nature. So what has Krishna told Brahma when Brahma wanted to create? Only 2 syllables. One word, 2 syllables, ta-pa. So who likes tapasya in Kali Yuga? Who likes tapasya in Kali Yuga? The greatest pastime of the Kali Yuga people is to avoid tapasya. Avoid. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. When a conditioned soul sees an opportunity for enjoyment, it says, yes, let me dive into it. But when the self-realized soul sees an opportunity for enjoyment, he thinks, let me be careful now. Let me be careful now. So integrity means to be true to your own values. So what are your values? What are your values? Do you have a list of values they want to say? I sent a list of the 12 qualities of a spiritual warrior to our Bhakta Alexei yesterday. And Bhakti Gita Swami describes these are high highly demanding qualities. If you want to follow one of them, it's hard. What to speak of 12? But these are also values, something that is important, something that is valuable. So what are your values? How do you live? I mean, do you have some principles by which you live? Yeah. And when do you make compromise with these principles? Can you catch yourself when you make compromise with your own principles, with your own values? You feel very bad when you make this compromise, isn't it? You feel so bad. Well, I feel like I stink. I'm not following my own values. So my own ideal I'm not following. So it's very... And Krishna is also appealing to this in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, better to die than to run away from your duty. better, it's worse than that. Infamy is worse than that for a Kshatriya. You know infamy? When you're unglorious? Infamy is worse than that. Krishna is appealing to his pride also. To his pride. But not to his false pride, because Arjuna is a Kshatriya who is supposed to fight according to religious principles. So you can be proud that I'm fighting for religious principles. To some extent you can be proud. So Krishna is challenging Arjuna, and he is not only challenging Arjuna, Krishna is challenging us. Where is your pride? Where is your dignity? You know what is dignity? Dignity is appropriate pride. Can you translate, Sebastian, dignity? Appropriate pride? Well, your pride makes you a better person. Dignity, I don't eat mushrooms. I don't eat anything. I don't associate with anybody. I don't do anything. And the integrity is tested when no one is looking. You can show integrity in front of others so that people think you are what you are not. One leader in one country in Europe, once we had lunch, and he has an amazing request from me, very honest. He is still a leader in the temple. He said, amazing thing, he said, please help me become a person people think I am. Because people adore him, people respect him. Please help me become a person people think I am. So he knows that he's not what people think. People think he's something here, and he knows he's here. He's very honest. It's very honest. So first we have to become honest with ourselves, then we can become more spiritual. So these are some things for your thinking, to think about. Food for thought. Before breakfast. And do you have any questions?
I have a question according to the text. So we know Smriti, so Smarana means to remember. Is it essentially means to remember our previous position?
Does Smriti means to remember?
Yeah, Smarana. Shruti and Smriti. And Smarana means remembering of the Lord. Is it essentially means to remember our position, our previous position? It was in this text because Anu Smriti is Anu, that is Anushilana, Anupurana Krishna, Anu, that is following the acharyas. So there's this folder. Yes, so that means, that is question if is smarana originally, essentially, not only, but essentially means to remember our previous position we have lost. Just like a servant,
I
like
think
just like a
yes.
small.
It means what it means. What else it can mean?
I don't know, because Narana we're reading different pastimes, we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, that is not Shruti, that is not Bhagavad Gita, that is Smriti.
Ah, okay.
That's what I mean. That's what it means, Smarana. Essentially, the meaning of Smarana today.
In this case, I think it means remembering your original position as an eternal servant of Krishna.
Previous position or the original position?
But previous
Because in the
position.
text it is previous position.
Previous position is original position. I think here previous means original position. I don't know.
That was my question actually, because they stated your present and previous position, so it's something different. So I was wondering what is meant with position there. If there's a previous and present.
A previous position is our original position, and present position is our condition, situation, condition. Where we are, like your present position is that you are in this body, but your previous position is that you have spiritual body and you have spiritual identity, your eternal identity. So this is at least how I understand what previous position means.
Because previous refers also to pastimes. Previous we can refer to the pastimes. That's why we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam.
Krishna's pastimes.
Yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna's pastimes. Yes.
Okay, we have position in Krishna's pastimes. But that's the same thing. I mean, your previous position as a servant, you're not isolated. You're in Krishna's pastimes. So, in that sense, you can say that you also remember your position. Like, if you have a spiritual body, if you have spiritual identity, and in the spiritual world, you have a family also where you're staying. And so you have a place or position in Krishna's pastimes. That's true.
Yeah, because that is anusmritis. Anusmritis.
It doesn't. Srila Prabhupada doesn't elaborate on this. He doesn't elaborate on this very much.
Like he said in his previous position.
As his position as part and parcel of the Supreme
Yeah.
Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, part and parcel, that's why I don't, maybe, I don't know.
I think it's the same thing. This is all included. You don't have one or the other. It is all included. If you remember your previous spiritual position, that means that you were within Krishna's pastimes. Yeah.
It's Christian.
Yes?
I have a question. You said that how you can feel good if you always make a compromise to your values. And I have made some experience that if I try to say something about my values or something that I think it's not right, the people, some of the people are going to take it maybe not seriously, or maybe they are not together in one clique and don't want to change anything, and as usual they make some jokes and then they're laughing. And after that I was thinking, Krishna, why did I say that? No, so it is only better, it's only rather than better not say that, it's only because when they're laughing, my self-value has a big problem, you know. I think that they're laughing about me, and because we're the people, because we're actually a group anymore. My Sisho has understood this like they're together, and I'm alone. They're laughing about me, so my value is not so important, yeah, and it's not right. And you'd better shut up, yeah, next time. But now, and I'm not sure about that.
your values should not depend on other people's approval, other conditioned souls' approval. Your values depend on the Shastra, on the scriptures. If your values in line of scriptures, there may be people who are laughing at your high values, but it means they are fools. If they are recognizing high values, they will appreciate. And you don't even have to tell them, these values are for you. You don't have to advertise, this is for you. For you to follow something, especially when no one is looking. Especially when no one is looking. Okay? You understand? Yeah. Yes?
How do you help such a person who asks you such a question like you mentioned to help from this to this platform?
Well, I would say constant training. Training means you do something and you monitor. You monitor how are you doing. And I left that place, so I didn't. We used to have sessions. We used to have sessions. I left that place, but when we had sessions, then we discussed some of these things. But again, we go back to success partnership. If you have a success partner, you can discuss these things. How do I go from here to here to here to here? And monitor and then report. You say, okay, now last week I made 3 compromises. I ate too much, I didn't exercise, I was not good with my rounds. I made 3 compromises and I feel bad. Next week I want to do better and I will report to you. So monitoring, keeping track, monitoring, setting goals like weekly goals. Okay, this week I want to chant 16 rounds in one go, every single day, no matter what, life or death, virus or 5G. I'm going to chant 16 rounds in one go. And yesterday we were speaking, I think with Sebastian, that if you want to chant, you want to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. And then your mind sees your mobile phone. It says, maybe there is a message. Especially if you have a sound, ding, then you don't have to even look. Oh my God, let me see. So, if you decide that I'm going to chant without interruption, then when the mind tells you, look at your screen, you say no. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Then the mind says, oh, you have to do this, maybe. Okay, if you have to go to the toilet, you have to do it. But, so, you just ignore the mind. In the 5th canto, Prabhupada says one of the techniques is to ignore the mind, what mind says. So if you have a goal, now your integrity is shown to how much you follow your goal. You have a goal, your goal is 16 in one go, no interruption. Only life or death. If somebody is screaming, I'm dying or I'm going to commit suicide, then you can interrupt your rounds. Otherwise, no way, no interruption. No screen, nothing. Or you see something is not clean, oh, I have to clean this. No, you can clean later, don't clean now. Because your rounds are more important than anything in the world. Your rounds will save you. This piece of junk will not save you. or the screen on the smartphone will not save you at the moment of death. But holy name will save you at the moment of death. So now this leader, if he says, please help me become a person people think I am, first we have to see what people say about him. They think he's great, okay, so you want to become like this? Yes, I want to become like this. So what qualities you need to manifest? So we go to the details. What qualities you want to... Well, they think, I'm very patient, but actually I'm boiling inside when somebody irritates me. Okay, so how do you develop patience so that you don't boil inside, but you are really patient? Well, I'm not sure, maybe I should have a different perspective, or, I should, when the anger starts coming, maybe I should control it early, or, you can do different things. And then next week, you tell me how you have been doing. What was irritating you this week and how you have been controlling yourself. And then he said, I did 3 times well and 1 failure. But it's better because last week I did 3 failures and 1 thing well. So monitoring progress. And this is why success partnership is good, because devotees can monitor each other's progress, to help each other with this. This is why I recommended this, that you discuss things. Yesterday, one senior devotee from South America was telling me that, he lives alone now in the hills. And then he would like to have conversations. And I didn't tell him, but I will tell him next time, because I was mainly listening. If you want to be satisfied with your conversations, they have to be deep conversations, not something blah blah, how are you, or like this, but deep conversations about how can we make spiritual advancement, how do we deal with the present world situation, how do we relate to it, how do I get more serious in Krishna consciousness due to the world situation. Krishna is putting pressure from the outside on us to get more serious. Because if you stay in your comfort zone, you don't move. And there is a comfort zone, stretch zone, and panic zone. So in panic zone, I'm not asking people to go into panic zone, but stretch zone, But if you stay in the comfort zone, you don't grow. You don't grow. And for example, for me, it's just an example. I cannot do 10 push-ups, but for me, 10 push-ups becomes a comfort zone after some time, because I can do it easily. Why? Because I was practicing. Therefore, I have to increase to 12 or 14, which is more difficult. You have to really go to the edge. So by being disciplined, you can create a new comfort zone, which is higher than the previous one, but it's still a comfort zone. So you have to stretch again and, push yourself over your limits. Like, for example, if I tell you, okay, start chanting, I coach devotees on japa. Start chanting 1 round a day. And they say, I'm chanting 1 round a day, I feel good. I say, okay, start 2. Oh, that's double. Okay, they start 2. Oh, I feel good with 2 rounds. Okay, start 4. And then when they come to 16, oh, I'm doing 16. No, easily. Then I say, well, do a little more. Do 18 or 20. Or do something else that make you stretch. So if you want to feel good, we feel bad because of other people. Other people insult us, other people don't appreciate us, other people hate us, other people want something from us. But actually the worst thing, the worst feeling when you feel bad about yourself because you are not true to your values, that's the worst feeling. The bad feeling because of other people is not so as bad as the feeling when you are not actually true to your own values, isn't it? So I would ask this devotee, okay, you set your goals and you work on them and you report to me if you want. We never did this with him. Never did this with him. But he's pushing himself. He's pushing his service is pushing him. He has a difficult service. I mean, you have to surrender to people. You have to surrender to duty. So he's not in a comfort zone. But this thing that he said, it has helped me become the person people think I am. You can define it more clearly what it is, and then work on it systematically and consciously and intentionally. Okay? Yeah? Okay, last question.
These questions at least have helped me to become a person that people are thinking about. Isn't it the questions Sanatana Goswami asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who I am? Kiyama. Who I am? The people think I'm so just a famous person, I'm so intelligent, and I'm so, but I don't even know who I am.
Yeah, you can say. But this devotee was thinking that people think I'm great, I'm powerful, I'm intelligent, I'm capable, and he didn't feel he's like this. He didn't feel like more specific qualities to.
See, the devotee never feels he is great. Also, because that's why it's just a paradox.
Oh, yeah.
Paradoxical. So Guru feels Prabhupada said when Guru says he is Guru, he is not a Guru. So something like that. Because it is just how to do it, how to become the person that people are thinking I am, how to do it. Practically.
But what if people think you are lower than you are? So you say, let me become. People think I am a fool, so let me. Please help me become what people think I am. Sometimes people think we are, worse than we are. This is also, people think we are worse than we are. So we don't strive for this. We strive if they think that we are better than we are. Okay? Yes?
Normally, everyone of us should ask such a question. Like, I'm not on the level I want to be, and maybe others think that I'm, especially the older ones. But how to help a person to come to ask such a question if the person doesn't really want to, or not yet?
It's very simple. You ask this question yourself. Then they see by your example. You ask yourself. Okay? Wait. Okay? If you ask yourself this question, please help me become. You can ask this question. Please help me become a person I'm presenting myself as I'm presenting myself to be better than I am. So please help me become that person really. Please, I'm presenting myself as a really like a very serious devotee or great devotee. So please help me become like this. Become really serious. Not only present myself or pretend. You understand?
But how this helps another person? If I ask myself.
Oh, your example helps a lot. Your example helps. They will see, oh, I want to do this. If they're honest, they will say, I also want to ask myself this question. This is the power of the personal example. Okay? Yes?
So that is so mercy, really, because during this virus, I don't know how to call it because it's not
Epidemic.
I may not to say that word. Yes.
You can call the virus. You can call the virus 5G.
Yeah, because that is all about mercy. The Bhagavatamrita, Narada Muni is investigating who is the recipient of mercy, who has got the most mercy. Shiva not, Pandavas not. So no. Because everybody says, Shiva says, no, I'm not the recipient of mercy. Narada Muni, I'm not the recipient of mercy. I'm not